So this section is just a flow chart. This flow chart may be helpful to some of you, and others of you, it'll just be confusing. If it helps you, awesome. If not, ignore it and find some other way to straighten this out in your mind. But this gives us a big picture of nomenclature. We've got 3 different kinds of things here. We've got ionic compounds, we've got molecular compounds, we've got acids. And here is a very brief description of how we identify what those are. The first step in naming or writing a formula is figuring out what kind of a compound this is. Ionic compounds are going to be a metal and a nonmetal. What's the one exception you need to know? Whether it doesn't have a metal in it. If it starts with NH4, ammonium, then it's going to be ionic. So the ionic compounds, we can divide those into 2 groups where the metal forms only one kind of ion or the metal forms more than one kind of ion. The difference is that some of them need a Roman numeral and some don't. But you take the cation, the metal name, and you take the name of the anion, and it's either a polyatomic ion or it's just an element and you change the ending to -ide. The ones that need Roman numerals are the ones that can form more than one ion. So these that do not need a Roman numeral are the metals, that's what they are. The metals that are in groups 1A, 2A, 3A, zinc or silver, no Roman numeral. If it's not one of those, slap a Roman numeral on it. Molecular compounds, we talked about that this morning. Those are relatively simple because they just use the prefixes. The danger here is that students want to use the prefixes for everything because you're like, hey, I got that one, I'm just going to use it for everything. Unfortunately, you can't do that. And then there's the acids. So we've got hydrogen and other stuff. There's oxyacids, and this goes through how we look at the ate or the ite, the name of the oxyanion. And these are the other kind that don't have oxygen, and those are the ones that have hydro. Okay? So that's a summary of nomenclature.